Former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell was sentenced to 2 years in prison by a federal judge yesterday. He, of course, was found guilty of a number of corruption charges in September. They say, quote, the 11 charges that McDonnell was convicted on are related to accepting roughly $165,000 in gifts and loans from a businessman promoting his vitamin supplement company. Now, they plan to appeal the conviction, but at the same time, McConnell said that, McDonnell. Mitch McConnell's not going to prison. He just looks like a turtle. McDonnell said that he's thankful for the mercy of the light sentence of only 2 years, because what he was looking at was 10 to 12 years, and then when he got in court, they knocked it down to 3 to 6 years, and then the final number is 2 years. So they're appealing, but at the same time, he was saying, yeah, thank you. It could have been a lot worse. But here's why I think this story is interesting. And nobody else is going to talk about this story in this way. Is McDonnell really worse than other politicians? No, seriously, think about that. He's just sloppier. That's what it is. He's sloppier and he's more direct with his corruption. So it wasn't just money that he took. He also took loans. He also took this guy's vacation house for his daughter's wedding or something like that. So it wasn't just cash. And also, they didn't do this transfer during election season. So since it wasn't just cash and it wasn't during election season, he's viewed as this pariah and he's supposed to go to jail. But if you change the situation slightly, if he took $165,000 in cash during an election year and it went to his campaign fund or to his super PAC or to the Virginia Republican Party, and then let's say he turned around and gave this company subsidies, that would have been totally legal. That wouldn't have been a crime in America. That would have been a Tuesday in America. Because that's how our entire government functions. See, this is the issue, man, and this is why it's so frustrating and it's so annoying, is that, like, CNBC has one of these shows, too. They have, I forget the name of the show, but they cover the corporate criminals in America and the people who took advantage of our otherwise very just and great system that makes perfect sense. And they cover these people as the few bad apples. Like, for example, they did something on Bernie Madoff, they did something on the Enron scandal, and they cover them and they portray the situation as, tisk, why couldn't they be like the 99.999999 other people in Wall Street and the politicians who are so upstanding and such great citizens who do the right thing? And that is absolute horseshit. Because, okay, Bob McDonnell took $165,000 in gifts and then returned the favor. Is that any different from all of the politicians that take campaign contributions from ExxonMobil and then lo and behold, every year they pass a $4 billion corporate welfare check, a subsidy that goes directly to ExxonMobil for research and development? Is it any different than the politicians that take money from Walmart and then Walmart every year gets billions of dollars in subsidies? Is it any different from all the politicians in the Democratic and Republican Party who take money from the big banks, and then lo and behold, the big banks every year get $80 billion plus in subsidies? You see this over and over and over again in America, but if you do bribery and corruption within the rules, everybody acts like it's normal, like we shouldn't be outraged by it. No, we should be outraged by it. Because that system of legalized bribery makes all of our politicians corporate whores and whores to billionaires. And guess who they never end up representing? You and me. This is why we see a situation in America where 90% of the American people are for universal background checks with guns, and we don't get it. This is why we see 80% of the American people in favor of raising the minimum wage, but we haven't gotten that yet. This is why we see only 17% of the American people still want to be involved in these wars in the Middle East, and lo and behold, we're still over there, even during a Democratic administration. So Bob McDonnell is not the problem. Bob McDonnell is a byproduct of a system that's already totally corrupt. The United States of America is not a democracy anymore.